Nice and warm. And look, you're all tucked in by me. Okay. This is hard work. Check this out. That's where I'm heading. I'm sliding down on my bum. I've just heard this massive gunshot reverberating around the valley. It sounded like it came from just up here. Woo! Time to relax. Yeah, it's been a big day. This is such a fantastic feeling. I can't describe it. Is it time for an adventure? Is it? You can't take your ball with you. No, you've got other things to carry. Yep, we're going that way. I'm so glad that you guys are joining Indi and I for this adventure. We have an epic adventure planned. I'm not sure if I'm biting off more than I can chew, but we're heading about 4 hours up to the top of a mountain, all the way up to the highest point at about 1,500 meters. This place that we're in is absolutely perfect in my opinion. There are wide open views, high alpine areas. There's a waterfall, a mountain lake, a beautiful forested valley and a gorgeous river. It has absolutely everything. I'm so looking forward to sharing it with you. The plan is to get to the top, hopefully make our way down to the mountain lakes before dinner, which will be about another hour's walk. And that's probably going to be the place we're going to camp tonight before we drop down into the valley tomorrow, check out the waterfall if there's enough water in the river, maybe a swim in the river, and a beautiful forested walk out tomorrow. There is so much going on in this video. I really hope you guys enjoy it. We're about to break out of the bush, and I've just heard this massive gunshot reverberating around the valley. It sounded like it came from just up here. So there's probably hunters out. Good thing Indi's got her jacket on. I'd hate to think she got mistaken for something. Right, we'll keep going. Indi, wait. So yes, it was hunters. A young guy and a young girl doing some hunting, and the girl was so excited because it was her first thing that she shot a chamois. There's the wee chamois that they got. Let's see if I can zoom in. It's a bit wobbly. Right there. This is hard work. Check this out. That's where I'm heading. I'm feeling really proud of myself to have got to 1,400 meters, but I'm also feeling quite deflated because look at what we've got ahead of us. We got to follow that all the way along. See that narrow ridge line? We're going all the way up to there. Yikes. I came up with the best idea ever. I froze these overnight. I've got 2 of them. And it's now, listen to this, it's a slushy. That is magic. What a good idea. So I'm going to give myself a bit of energy for the climb up there, and then I think I'm just going to keep going. This way. Sometimes a walk can look so daunting. Like I'd looked up at this walk and thought, man, that's going to take forever. And I've just started 1 foot in front of the other, following this ridge. And guess what? In no time at all, we're 2/3 of the way up. That's where we were there on that little pointy high point there when we had stopped to have that drink. There's a road that takes you out to the west coast. And that mountain over there, if you're interested, is Mount Haast. Another one that I'd like to climb sometime. This little park is called the Victoria Forest Park, and it's nestled in between 2 national parks, the Lewis Pass National Park and the Nelson Lakes National Park. And it's pretty darn special, and one of the things I love about it is that you're allowed to bring a dog here as long as you've got a permit with the Department of Conservation. Indi has a permit, so she can come with me. But I'll tell you something, if you are thinking about bringing your dog on an overnight hike, one of the things to consider is it's a bit like taking a toddler. They can't really carry much, but you have to carry a lot. So I have this massive pack, it's 20 kilograms. I do have 4 kilograms of filming gear, 2 kilograms of water, and 2 sets of most things. I've got 2 sleeping bags, 2 sleeping mats, 2 sets of food, 2 sets of warm clothing for at night. So when you take a dog with you, if you're going to look after them well, and if they're a wee bit precious like Indi, as in not the hardiest dog in the world, there's quite a bit of extra stuff to carry, so you got to factor that in. But it is really special to be able to come into such an incredibly beautiful and wild place with my dog. I really appreciate that New Zealand does have little pockets of places where you can take dogs with you. Not many. Most of our places in New Zealand you can't bring dogs. So you've got to be really careful and considered about where you go. Right, you can tell I'm struggling. I'm going to put the camera away, get up to the very top. I can see a rock cairn there marking the top, and that's where I'll catch up with you. We made it! Oh, 1,541 metres. About 800 metres of elevation gained from when we started the walk. And we are finally here. Woohoo! This is such a fantastic feeling. I can't describe it. It's just amazing. When you set yourself a goal and you're not 100% sure, well, you know you'll achieve it, but you're just not sure what it's going to be like along the way. I'm so glad to be here. It is just so good for the soul. Everywhere I look, it's just wild and beautiful. And I'm completely on my own. Except, of course, for the fantastic Indi, my trusty companion, who every few minutes I'd look up, and there ahead of me, woo, and there ahead of me was a little face, just looking at me like, come on mum, hurry up. Oh, poor Indi. I'm a lot slower than she is, but we've made it. We've made it to the top. So there's not a lot of information about how to get down from this high point down into the basin where the lake is that we're going to camp at. I have got the GPS marks of one party that did it and the description of two parties, and then I have defined my own route using the topographical map. And actually I'll show you a screenshot of what I'm looking at when I'm picking my route to go down, so you can see where we are. We're that blue dot, and we've come all the way up this ridge past the sort of low high point, I call it, about 1400 meters, and that's where I stopped and had that drink of juice and gave Indi some water just after seeing the hunters. And then carried on all the way up that really steep ridge, all the way up to this high point at 1,541 meters. Now we need to do is either take this spur all the way down to the Tarn, the mountain lake. It's T-A-R-N. Somebody in one of my previous videos said, what is it that you're saying? It's Tarn. And the other way is to go all the way around the ridge and drop down. So let's see. I'm going to have to play it by ear and use some navigation. So actually play it by eyesight and use some navigation. The topographical maps are very, very important, as are other people's experiences. But the most important thing that you should rely on is your own eyesight. Make sure you can see what's ahead of you, that you are comfortable with where you're going, and make sure you trust your own judgment. So that's what I'm going to do, use those as guidance and trust my judgment, and get down to camp. I am really looking forward to getting there, as you can imagine. It's quite windy up here, which is why I've switched over to the wireless microphone, because I'm hoping that you get a bit more clarity without the wind noise. But I'm actually really relieved that we've got some breeze, because it's a hot summer's day. So we're in the middle of our summer in New Zealand, and today's not an extremely hot day. It's only about 15 degrees Celsius. But when you're walking in the sun, it's very hot. So a bit of light breeze is always welcome. Right, let's just navigate these rocks. This is not a particularly hard track. I wouldn't say it's highly technical, but I would say, whoa. Okay, this was whoa. You need good balance, was what I was about to say. You need to be sure-footed. So I wouldn't say this is a highly technical track. You don't need incredible route finding skills unless you're planning to come through here in winter when it's really hard to see where the track is. But I would say you need to be experienced, sure-footed and fit. Okay, I've got to show you guys something that I've just seen. Look at that. I'm not joking. Every 5 minutes, something about this place just takes my breath away. Look at that. That is our camping spot for the night. Are you guys excited? I am very excited. I am very, very excited. I just want to get there now. I don't even remember what I was saying. There you go. There you go. I'll have some too. I had heard that you could slide down here. It does make it a bit quicker, but it's a bit dodgy. So I better stop that. Scum buckets. Look at that. Someone's camped here, which is lovely. Enjoyed this beautiful place and left their rubbish. I hate having to carry out other people's rubbish, but it's just not okay to leave this kind of stuff in the bush. How did I know she'd go for a swim? Are you going for a swim? I bet she's been hanging out for that. Fair enough. Oh, she's just loving that. Back she goes. Another lap. Oh, the only thing is, hey pup, you've got your food in there, come here. Let's take this off, otherwise you're going to have soggy treats and soggy dinner. Here you go, swim time. Here. Want to go for a swim? You can. Do you want to go for another swim? Off you go. Yay, dog paradise. Dog paradise. Come on, we better go and find somewhere to camp. Come on. Let's go and have a look around there. It's a bit soggy underfoot here. Isn't it lovely? Isn't it beautiful? I'm going to drop my pack here and I'm going to go and fill up with some water because I don't think we're going to sleep around this lake. It's a little bit boggy and there's no really nice flat spots, so I'm going to go and explore a little bit more over the crest of the hill. And the other thing is, wouldn't it be fantastic to have a view? Don't you think? Don't you think? Wouldn't it be fantastic to have a view? I mean, we've got a view. We've got an insane view, but wouldn't it be amazing to be able to see down into the lower valley? You want your dinner, don't you? It's past your dinner time, I know that. Indi really wants her dinner, so I'm going to go fill up with some water I'm going to try and drink as much as I can out of what I've got in my bladder. Water bladder. Drink as much as I can and then fill it up, and then we're going to go and find a little spot to camp. And I have not brought a tent tonight. The forecast is for nice weather. It's not even supposed to be all that windy. It's a little bit windy now, and it's supposed to be through till about 7 p.m. and then it's supposed to ease off. So we should have a pretty nice night, pretty clear. It is supposed to be a bit misty and dewy first thing in the morning, so I have brought a tarp in case we want to put a little bit of a shelter over us and make a tarp tent. But I might even just sleep out in my bivvy bag, just out under the stars. It just depends on how she responds to that. If she finds it funny, you know, it might be a bit funny for her if I'm in the bag and she's just lying next to me. We'll see. I might put the tarp up or I might not. But for now, I think I'm just going to sit out, make dinner out in this beautiful space, and not even worry about any cover. This is perfect. Well, close to perfect. Close to perfect. There's not a whole lot of flat ground, except where it's really boggy, but hey, yes? I think somebody wants a treat. I think, oh yeah, okay, so when she jumps like that, that means yes. So Indi has been carrying some of her own stuff. She has got her dinner, and she's also got some treats. Now these are special treats for her by people that have donated a bit of money via Super Thanks, and for people that have left us a little treat on Buy Me a Coffee. So thank you so much, you guys, and Indi will definitely say thank you for these. These are whole anchovies. Look at that. Are you ready? She tried one out at home. I gave one to her at home to try out, and she loves them. Oh, do you? You want another one? Ready? Did you drop it? Yeah. Some of these grasses around here are really, really spiky. This one's not too bad. It's pretty sharp. This is a flax, karakiki. It's not particularly sharp. This, I'm not 100% sure. It has a lovely white flower on it. I have to check. But there's something around here called Spaniard, and it is so sharp. I put my hand out earlier on to support myself, and I put my hand right into the Spaniard, and it drew blood. It's nasty. So that's the one plant that we're going to be having to be really careful not to be anywhere near when we set up our beds tonight. Ready? I've compromised on the flat ground because we've got this beautiful little lake here, which even though I'm not going to get water from it, it's just so pretty. I can see the mountains that we came down off. They're sort of standing over us with this strong presence. I mustn't tease her. There's a beautiful little, sort of like a little waterfall and river just going down through the valley. And then over here I can see down towards the lower towns. So I'm going to get my stuff out and set up camp, and then I'm just going to show you around in silence, I think. I'll just let you enjoy what I can enjoy. Share your bed. I'll sit here. So you will have seen Indi's had her dinner already, haven't you? You were hungry. Did you have your dinner? Yes, you did. Yeah. Good time to relax. Yeah, it's been a big day. It's been a big day. I thought it would take me about 5 hours to get here, and it was pretty much spot on. It was 5 hours to get to the top town. No, it's not polite. So I'm not a particularly fast walker, and I do stop every 10 minutes to do a minute of filming. I had a heavy pack, so other people could have done that walk a lot quicker, but that's okay. Here you go. Here's your pillow. Here's your pillow. This is Indi's sleeping bag. I'm not going to get it out just yet, because you don't need it, because it's lovely and sunny, isn't it? Ooh. Just keeping an eye on the camera. It's a bit breezy. Hold on. Sorry, Indi. Sorry, darling. Sorry. Come lie down. Yes. So I don't think that I'm going to put the tarp up tonight. I think I'm going to chance it, and we're just going to sleep out here. I've got my bivvy bag. Indi's got her mat and sleeping bag. I'll see though. If the breeze continues, and it's not forecast to, but if the breeze continues, then I'm going to put a tarp up just to keep the wind off Indi, because I get the protection of this bag, but she doesn't. So we'll see. Cute. No, just lie down, lie down. Okay, dinner time, you guys. Often I bring wine with me on my camps, but I didn't bring any wine today, and the reason for that is I wasn't sure whether I'd get here and find nowhere to camp and need to go down to this lower valley with the tarn down there, because I know that there's a camping spot down there. Most people would say there isn't, but I have camped down there before. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I might even put in a little preview in a moment of the video that I did. It was about 7 months ago in the middle of winter when I walked up the valley. So I didn't come this way. I went up the valley. It was pouring with rain. It was so wet, and it had been snowing, and it was absolutely beautiful.
Oh, hi. Did you decide to come with? Oh, it's tough going, isn't it?
If you guys haven't seen that video, then wait till you get to the end, because on the end screen there is a link and you can watch the video there. It would actually be really fun to watch it as a comparison. So I know there's a spot to camp down there, and I thought that I might get to this point, end up stopping to have dinner, and then going down to the lower tarn to camp. But instead we're going to stay here the night, and I'm going to get up early in the morning tomorrow. I want to be gone from here by 7 a.m. We're going to go down to the lower tarn and stop and have some breakfast down there, or part way down the track. And so because of that, because I wasn't sure if I'd be navigating this really steep part, I think it's really steep, coming down from here, down past the waterfall into the lower valley, I didn't want to drink alcohol and then be tired and navigating steep slopes, so I was sensible. So I have brought another juice with me, and this one's lovely and cold. The other one was lovely and cold, but it was still pretty frozen. So even though it's not a wine, cheers. Thank you for coming on the trip with us. Yeah. Are these mummy's treats? Yeah. It's the world's smallest bag of chips. That much. That's all I need. I don't want to disturb Indi because she's sleeping so soundly, but I'm going to put a jacket on her soon. It's actually really warm. She's so low to the ground, so she's not really in the wind. And the sun is on her black coat, so she's warm to touch, but it is getting cold up here, and it's supposed to be 5 degrees overnight. That's Celsius. So it is going to get a bit chilly. And she has dried off actually from her swim. Right, I'm going to get dinner on. Oh, sorry. Nothing happening. You can go back to sleep. It's okay. Back to sleep. Good girl. I can smell the coffee. Yum. Trying to remember everything that I wrapped up. What's in there? What's in there? What I'm having tonight for dinner. It's pasta vera real fresh tortellini with manuka smoked salmon and ricotta. Sounds amazing. So I've got a nice fancy pasta, and then not really going to do much of a sauce. I'm just going to put a whole lot of lemon juice over it and olive oil and capers, and then I've got what have I got? Coriander and chives. And I think Indi and I might get her sleeping bag out and put it over us. I'm not cold, but I don't want to get cold. Where is it? Oh, here it is. I'm really looking forward to this wind dying down. It's definitely forecast to die down. So fingers crossed. Oh, that's pretty good. How's the service around here, hey? Oops, sorry. So what did you all think about the walk in today? Did you enjoy it? Most of my videos are done in rainy weather. I really love camping in the rain because I love the soothing, relaxing feeling of sitting in a lovely warm tent or under a tarpaulin and listening to the sound of the rain. But I have to say, today for me was amazing. Absolutely loved it. And I think I'm going to need to do a couple of these sorts of camps because A, it doesn't always rain. Even though it might look like that, when I was doing a video once every 2 weeks or once every 3 weeks, I could find a time when it was raining. Now that I'm trying to increase my videos to every 1 to 2 weeks, I can't always find a time that it's raining. There was no rain in the forecast for the next 10 days. And these kind of trips, perfect. Because there's so many things to enjoy about the outdoors, not just the sound of the rain. I'm even enjoying the sound of this cooker because it just makes me think about a little secluded camp on the top of a mountain. What kind of camping do you guys enjoy doing? Maybe where you're from, it's quite different to where I'm from. Or maybe you're a New Zealander as well and you've got some favourite places. I'd love to know them. I'd love it if you would share them with me. You might live somewhere where there's not a lot of high places to go to. I remember somebody commenting and saying like, yep, the highest mountain we've got is a hill. So maybe you really enjoy seeing these kind of immense landscapes. They're pretty special. Dinner was lovely. The sun's going to go down soon and I don't want to be caught out, so I'm going to get washed up. I'm actually going to boil some water and have a bit of a wash because when you've had a really hot sweaty day, the sweat on your skin, the salt, attracts moisture and it can make you cold at night. So I'm going to have a little bit of a wash, brush my teeth, get myself ready for bed. And then I think because we don't have a tent, we don't have cover, I'm just going to pack everything away. I have got the tarp, but I don't want to put the tarp up, and the reason for that, I've had a look around and those sharp grasses are all around, and if I put the tarp up I think it's going to get ripped. I know it will. We're fine where we are, and what I'm going to do is I'm on the windward side and I'm just going to tuck Indi right up underneath me, and the excess bit of my bivvy bag will go over the top of her. And I'll have the tarp handy because in the night if it feels really dewy we can just put that over the top of us. Should be fun. So I'm going to get ready for bed and say goodnight to you then. I need to get a good night's sleep. It's an early start tomorrow. So no watching downloaded Netflix dramas. You saying thank you? What? No, stay there. Stay there. Don't wiggle out. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm going to stay there, pups. I know you're excited, but it's taken a bit to get this all sorted. Hey. Oh, thank you. Stay there, darling. Stay there. Don't wriggle out. She's so cute. But it's quite hard because I'll tell her to lie down and she'll lie down facing the opposite direction and I'm trying to zip her up. So we've got it all sorted, haven't we? We've got it all sorted. Oh, this is fantastic. It's 8:40. It's going to be a lovely early night for me, which is great. So I'm going to say goodnight to you guys. What I've noticed that's a bit different, a couple of birds, I think they might be ducks, heading that way, probably going up to the lake, and a whole lot of cloud cascading in over the top of the mountain. So fingers crossed, the clear forecast that was forecast and the wind easing off to 1 to 2 knots overnight stays that way, because I've got no way of checking it up here. I've got everything inside my pack, so it's all completely contained and I've got the cover over the top of it. I'm here tucked in alongside Indi. I'll snuggle in against her. I've got my pack right up against me to create a bit of a wind barrier, and I actually think we're pretty super snuggly. So good night everybody. We'll see you in the morning, bright and early. I'm probably just going to jump up, get my boots on, pack up all this stuff, get it all in the pack and get straight down the track. When I was taking some footage on the edge of this drop off here, because it is a bit of a drop off, I could see somebody has camped down at the bottom of the valley. Well, down at the bottom of the river in the valley. So hopefully we don't have to walk right through their camp, because it is going to be early and I think most normal people won't be up. But we're a bit abnormal, aren't we, Indi? Because we need to be home in good time tomorrow. We've got a 3.5 hour probably walk out and about a 3-hour drive home. And kids to see when they come home from school. So we got to get going early. Good night. See you in the morning. Good sleep.
So good morning everybody. It's bright and early. Managed to leave very close to the time I wanted to leave. It's 7:10. That's where we were camping. Just up there. Oopsies. Sort of up on that ledge up there. Somewhere there. Right, so we need to make our way down. When I looked at it from the bottom up, last time I was in this area, it looked incredibly treacherous. And on the maps, it just doesn't look like there's a way down. But quite a few people, I mean, people do it. So quite a few people have commented that it's fine. Steep, but fine. So I suspect we will find a way. It sounds like, sorry if I'm yelling, it's a bit noisy by the little river. It sounds like you follow this river down. So that's what we'll do. If it was warmer, that would be such a nice place for a little swim. It's quite shallow, but it's very pretty. Right, I honestly don't know how we're going to get down here. Yikes. Well, I think that's quite doable. I'm going to put the camera away because it's going to be a bit of a scrabble. Goodbye, beautiful basin. Thank you for a lovely night. Should we do it, pups? When we get to the bottom, we get to have breakfast. Do you want some breakfast? Oh, yes, and you want some breakfast? We better go. There's my old camping spot. I'll show you in a moment. Just want to show you this view first, because we're about to leave this beautiful place. And actually, it's a really good vantage point to show you a few things. That there is the mini high point. That's where I stopped for that juice. And just off to the side of it, about there, was where the hunters were with a chamois. So that ridge is what we followed along yesterday. All the way up to the top there. And then dropped down into the valley, well, into that basin which is up there. And we were camping about there. Obviously there's the waterfall, and then we came down. See where the rocks are? Down through there. You can actually follow down through like an old slip or a dry riverbed. And then we cut through there and around. I'm reluctant to leave. I had thought about having breakfast here, but it's still in the shade. It's cold. So I think let's go a little bit further and see if we can find a spot along the track when the sun comes out. I'll just take you up and show you my camping spot. So don't forget, at the end of this video, check out the link for that one. You can always tell when other people have been here. It's not a biggie, but I'd prefer not to see other people's fireplaces. Go. All right. Is that good? Just wait. Hang on. Just one more piece. Yes. I found this little rocky stream bed to have breakfast on. I was hoping that the sun would come out into the valley and we could sit in the sun, but nope. The line of the sun is still way up the top of that side of the hill. I think it'll probably be about 11 o'clock before the sun's down into this area, and we just can't wait that long. As it is, it's 8:50 a.m. So we actually did really, really well time-wise. It took about 40 minutes to make our way down from the camping spot down to the lower tarn. And yeah, I think we're going to make it out in good time, which is really good news. I'm hoping as we get down to the bottom of the valley, as it widens, opens up, we'll be able to get a bit of sun. 'Cause I'd love to show you the forest in the sunshine. It's so, so special. Most of the time when I'm walking in the forest, I'm in the rain. So it's lovely to be able to show it to you in the sun. Hi there. Now, I don't want this to fall over. That would be not good. Oh, that looks like a very dark coffee. Just the way I like it. Oh no, it sort of looks like a hot chocolate, it's so dark. I think it's just because I didn't put a lot of milk in. You keep thinking you hear something. Hello. So how's about that idea of mine to go for a swim in the river? Did you hear me say that yesterday? There you go. You can have that if you want it. Needless to say, I doubt very much there'll be any swimming in any rivers, except maybe for Indi. And that is because it is not warm, as you can tell. It was 5 degrees overnight. I actually think it was colder up there on the mountain than 5 degrees. While I enjoy my coffee, I am going to cook up the water for my porridge. Oh, you cute girl. So, it would have been better last night to have had the tarp up, and if there hadn't been those sharp plants that could have cut the tarp, I would have definitely put one up because there was a lot of dew. By the time we got into bed, I could already feel the layer of moisture on top, and I was a bit worried about Indi, but I kept checking. Every time I woke in the night, I kept checking, putting my hand inside her sleeping bag, and she was beautifully warm. And yes, there was a layer of moisture, of dew on the outside of her sleeping bag, but inside, I mean, when you get dew on the outside of your sleeping bag, you don't tend to get, it doesn't tend to soak through. So she was really lovely and warm. She had a jacket on and she was cozied up next to me, and I was beautifully warm. It was really lovely, really nice. lots and lots and lots of condensation inside of the bivy bag. So I did a video, the last video I released actually was of me trying that bivy bag out in really rainy conditions to see what it would be like if I was to use it if I was caught in a storm. And I found there was a little bit of pooling of water inside from what I think was condensation, and sure enough, last night a lot of condensation. But I guess you really have to look at it this way. I think you can't have everything. You can't, nothing's perfect. And if you're going to be warm in your sleeping bag and the air outside is going to be cold, and you've got this lovely cocoon of warm air and then this cold air outside, it's going to condense. I mean, it has to. Where else is it going to go? So I think you've got to be realistic. And I was beautifully warm all night. I woke up and the outside of my sleeping bag was wet inside of the bivy bag, but I was beautifully warm. The inside of my sleeping bag was fine. And you know what? I'll get home and I'll hang it up on the line. Not the end of the world. If I had been doing a multi-day walk, I would have waited up there until the sun was out on that area, which would have been, yeah, it wouldn't have taken long actually, because you're up there in the open. And I would have just left my sleeping bag out in the sun while I was making my breakfast, dry everything out before heading off again. So yeah, happy. Yum. This is an amazing end to an amazing trip. I was just reflecting and thinking what a fantastic trip this has been for me. I've been wanting to do it for ages, ever since I came up here 7 months ago. But every time I looked at it, I thought, oh, I think that might be too hard. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've done quite a few long walks, you know, 5 or 7 day trips. I've done those kind of things before, but I don't love the sort of graunch and grind of a really, really long day. And yesterday wasn't really, really long. It was probably only 5 hours of walking and then breaks. And today will probably be about 3.5. But it was a fair distance to climb and challenging terrain. And even though I think yesterday I might have said that I didn't think it was a particularly technical walk, that as long as you were fit and had good balance you'd be fine, but actually I'll revise that, because coming down off the ridge to the main tarn and then this morning coming down to the lower ones, you definitely need good route finding skills, because you could get yourself in a bit of strife. There's quite a few bluffs which are kind of cliff faces, and you need to be able to read the terrain and pick a good line. Very slippery, yeah. So I think you need a bit of experience to do this route, but it's absolutely fantastic. So if anybody's considering it, I would encourage you to give it a go. Thank you so much for coming with me. Thank you so much for coming with us. And you know, I really appreciate all the support that you guys give. We really, really appreciate your support so much. Thank you for the beautiful comments that you leave. I would love to hear from you. Love to know what you thought about this video, because it is a bit different. He's making little sigh noises, snoring, sighing noises. I'd really love to know what you thought of it, because I might do a few more trips like this when the weather isn't conducive to my favourite rainy camps. An adventure up high, exploring some new spaces, would actually be really fun. So let me know what you thought. Just a little reminder that if you would like to support Indi and I, you're very welcome to. We really appreciate it. There's YouTube Super Thanks, and there's also Buy Me a Coffee. And on that note, I just want to welcome our newest Buy Me a Coffee members. We have got Val and Nettie and Cecilia and Phil and Jane and someone. Because you can be anonymous, you're allowed to join and be anonymous. Thank you so much to all those people. Welcome to the Buy Me a Coffee membership. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. We really, did I say I appreciated it? Oh my gosh. Yes, I think I said that a few times. I need to find another way of saying that. We honestly appreciate everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Stick around till the end. I'm going to say goodbye to you now, but I'm hoping the sun comes out and I can give you a little montage of images of the walk out through the forest. So stick around for that. And right at the end, don't forget, if you're interested in seeing the video that I did 7 months ago up through here in winter, check that out. That's a little taster of what I am concocting, because I'm just thinking I'd love to come back up here in winter again. It might be up this way, and I've seen another spot further up that I could camp, or it might actually be up that spur that we walked up yesterday. Watch this space. Okay, everybody, from Indi and I, she's asleep, I'm not going to wake her to say goodbye to you. Thank you so much. Hope you had a good time. Please hit that like button. If you did enjoy it, show YouTube that it's worth showing other people. We will see you guys on the next adventure. Take care. Bye. I just found a pair of sunnies down by the river. I don't normally make a habit of taking people's things, but when you're out here in the middle of nowhere, the chances that somebody A, knows where they left them, and B, is going to come all the way back for them is so slim. And I desperately need a pair of sunglasses. I'll look in the mirror when I get back to the car. If they don't suit me, I'll just leave them on the sign down there, and somebody might come back looking for them, or someone else that they suit better might find them. Woo! I thought they looked pretty cute on me actually, but I decided to do the right thing. They probably belong to those people there because they were quite visible on the track, which means if they'd been there for a while, or if somebody else had been coming past, they would have found them already. So, good deed done. Epic trip done. I've washed my legs, got changed, ready for the drive home. Trip is officially done. Bye everybody. See you next time.